Hey internet, and welcome back to my self-help series. I feel like a bit of a cheerleader today with my little scrunchie and just like all the pink. I feel like I need pom-poms. I feel like I haven't filmed like a sit-down video in a really long time, and I haven't really done another one of my self-help series videos for a while, so I figured I would do one on something that I've been wanting to kind of do a video on for ages. Basically, this video is food related, which can be a bit of a sensitive topic because everyone has a different opinion and everyone thinks that they're right. And one of the things that my dad's always said is like, don't argue with people about food because it's like religion. Everyone has a different opinion and everyone thinks that they're right. So I just want to express that all the opinions in this video are completely my own, and obviously if you disagree, that's fine. Everyone kind of has things that work differently for their body. That doesn't mean that each kind of ways of eating is 100% right and the same for everyone. Like obviously, yeah, everyone's bodies are different, and if you can find something that suits you, then that's really cool. But today in particular, I wanted to talk about paleo, and the reason that it's a self-help video is because eating is one of those things that I've kind of struggled to get right in a way. Like I've had really bad skin and sometimes getting a bit heavier than I'd want to be, and just general as well immunity. Basically, I think I've told this story before, but I had tonsillitis for like 2 years straight when I was in high school, and I had to get them out. And ever since then, I've just struggled with sinus problems and just being really mucousy, and then also just having a really bad immune system. I was literally on antibiotics for those 2 years that I had the tonsillitis, and I just feel like that completely kicked my immune system. So I was just always ill, and it was ridiculous. I think I'll just start by explaining like what it is if you've never heard of it. Like I'm sure most people have, but if not, it's known as like the Caveman Diet, because it's essentially eating like a caveman. It's trying to eat naturally without any processed foods, and obviously you kind of have to do that within reason. It's essentially just eating meat and vegetables, but the meat is like grass-fed, organic, and as natural as possible. If you know where it's coming from, that's even better. But yeah, obviously buying from a supermarket or buying from a butcher, you want to buy the best meat you can, the most organic, the most grass-fed. They can't be like grain-fed. The basic kind of skeleton of it is meat, fruits and vegetables, mainly a lot of vegetables, high fats, low carb, and no sugar if you can avoid it. You can also eat some nuts and seeds, but yeah, essentially you want to avoid all processed food, all gluten and like processed carbs, all refined sugars. Then there's also dairy, which some paleo people consider fine as long as you're not lactose intolerant or you don't have an issue with dairy, whereas other paleo people completely don't have it because it counts as processed food, and everyone's just different with that. I will link a full list below of what you can and can't eat, but that's the basics. So the reason I decided to kind of go paleo at first, basically my dad got me into it because he had done heaps of research. He's one of those people that does like heaps of research into everything, like wants to know who, what, when, where, why, and so he did all that and he started eating that way, and so I was eating the meals anyway. But I kind of always was a bit like not 100%. I would go out with friends and I might have pizza or I might have like nachos, you know, like I'd occasionally have little cheat meals, and then like chocolate, obviously I was just like, oh my god, like every now and then I need some chocolate. Whereas now I've gotten to a point where I get really sick when I eat shit all the time, for lack of a better word. I personally, like, bread just does not agree with me. If I eat too much gluten, I get really like snotty and really ill. Like it just kind of messes with my immune system. I get kind of like stomach aches or cramps, and same with alcohol, which is a bit sad, but that's kind of another story, I guess. Dairy I'm okay with, but if you watched my previous self-help video, I think it was, with the whole no dairy thing, it's like I just have to have like as little as possible. But overall, yeah, the reason I eat paleo is because it has so many benefits. Just it's natural, it makes you feel good, it just completely changed like my energy levels. Yeah, like my immune system is better, and you kind of just feel like it makes sense. Like I personally think we weren't really meant to eat gluten and stuff, and again, that's such a controversial thing to say. Like there's so many people that are like, oh my god, you need carbs and you need gluten, blah blah blah. I personally just don't think we do, and you can have some healthy carbs like sweet potato and like veg, like that kind of carb, versus like bread that's so processed. And again, there's so much science behind it that I just couldn't go into off the top of my head. Like, I have researched stuff, I've watched documentary, and to me it just all makes sense. And yeah, like I say, personally, like my own choices, it totally kind of helps me as a person and like my body. And again, like everyone's different. I just have found that yeah, the paleo diet totally helps me out. I really enjoy doing it. I find like when I eat paleo, I feel better in myself, I sleep better, I have more energy to exercise, I can lose weight more, my gut feels healthier, I'm less hungry all the time as well. I also feel like I just have a really bad memory, and I'm not the most like knowledgeable person on like all the science side. So I definitely recommend watching The Magic Pill. It's on Netflix, or it was. It's just a documentary about Pete Evans, who I don't know if he created paleo or he's just a massive spokesperson for it, but he is in / helped make / maybe made the documentary. And they essentially go around America and they introduce paleo diets to all these families, and it completely just changes their lives, and like you see all the benefits from it. And they kind of talk more about like why nutritionists and doctors in this day and age have been taught that gluten and that bread and all that stuff is meant to be part of the diet and why it's wrong. And yeah, it's just really interesting. They kind of go really into it. So if you do want to learn more, then definitely check that out. And also, one of my favorite YouTubers is Sarah's Day, and if you haven't heard of her, she's just like kind of like a natural, holistic paleo, but also kind of just healthy eating. She's all about like making good choices and making like healthy choices for your body. And similarly, she has a lot of intolerances and stuff, so she really tries to eat stuff that is good for her, and like she's just really good. She makes videos on recipes and things she eats and workouts and all that, and I find her really helpful. So definitely check out those things if you're interested in learning more. The first thing I always kind of get when I tell people that I try and eat paleo is, how can you survive without bread? Or like they say like, oh my god, I could never do that because I just love bread. And I loved bread. Like my favorite food is pizza, but honestly, when you do it and you fully commit to it, you don't miss it, and it's so easy to replace things with healthier options. Just things like replace rice with cauliflower rice. You honestly just don't miss things like that once you've gone without. They do paleo breads where they just make it out of nuts and seeds and almond flour and stuff like that. There's so many paleo recipes online that you can like find on Pinterest, just Google in general. Like there's so much out there now that like it's really not as hard as you think. You just honestly have to think like, what can I replace this with? And some things like pizza, I can't say I've found like a good pizza paleo recipe, but I don't necessarily feel like I need pizza. I know you kind of think like, oh my god, I could never live without pizza. But when you do, it's just, yeah, like I said, all the benefits, you kind of just don't miss it. You stop craving stuff. Also with chocolate, I'm a huge sweet person, so I was like, how can I stop eating chocolate? And I found this brand, which again, Sarah's Day, the YouTuber, she introduced me to through her videos, called Loving Earth. And it's vegan, it's paleo, and all it has in it is like 3 ingredients, and it's like coconut, cacao, and honey or something. You know what I mean? Like it's all really natural stuff. And so if I'm ever craving sugar, that's my go-to now. I just don't even crave normal chocolate. And I think because I've just gotten so sick over time, like every time I cheat, I've just gotten to the point now where with my self-help journey, I'm like, I want to eat well. Like I want to really do it and go for it. I don't want to put shit in my body, because at the end of the day, you've got to look after your body. I want to like start making solid, healthy decisions, and I've been really good lately looking after myself and making good choices and cutting out the shit, and I've found like so many improvements. I've started losing weight, I feel better in myself, I've been sick less, and yeah, I find it really benefits my life and helps myself, which is the point of this series. So if you're interested in paleo, then definitely just Google it, do some research, look at that list of the yeses and no foods, and just try it. Like you kind of have to give it a month for it to fully kick in. At the end of the day, I want to feel good, I want to eat well, and I want to look after my body, and I really don't think that you are missing out if you don't have sugar and bread and processed food. People think that it's like, oh, you just have to eat chicken and broccoli and it's boring and you have to like, you know, let it go out. You have to just not have fun, and that's so not the case. Like there's so many people out there that post really fun recipes. My dad is so creative with it, and you can get really creative. And if you're not a huge like food lover or like cooking lover, then there's really easy stuff as well. So that's my 2 cents on the paleo thing. I just wanted to share again my experience. I'm not saying you should all do paleo, but if you do want to give it a go and you want some tips or you want some help, let me know in the comments, leave me a comment, send me a message, follow me on Instagram. I post food stuff sometimes. I want to start posting more food stuff, and I'm also going to make another self-help video where I go through some recipes, some really cool paleo recipes and my favorite paleo snacks, and I think maybe just like a what I eat in a week kind of style video of some paleo stuff. So hopefully that'll be helpful too. But yeah, I just want to do a sit down video explaining what paleo is, why I do it, some of the benefits, and some easy ways to kind of like swap stuff out and the easiest way to start. So I hope this video has been helpful. I do feel like I rambled a bit because, let's be real, I always do. But I hope I got my point across, and I hope I didn't just sound like I have no idea what I'm talking about, because that's what I feel like sometimes. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because I will be posting similar videos like this. I do a range of stuff, and I just really enjoy being able to post whatever I'm interested in that week or what's happening. And yeah, obviously my self-help series, I'm just really into it because yeah, I'm really enjoying this kind of self-help journey that I'm on. So thank you for joining me on it. So thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!